I think we're being animated.
Gosh, I'm all flat.
Season 2 of Doctor Who has kicked off to a very good start, but what about all the episodes to come? Well, join me in today's video as we somewhat preview Lux, episode 2 of Season 2. We've had an exclusive clip from Doctor Who Unleashed, which I shall play for you in a moment, but I won't lie, it's the most pointless clip of all time, but that's not a reason to click off the video because it's going to be full of loads of wondrous insight, theories, and speculation.
Roll up.
Doctor!
We're going to be going through the cast list, we're going to be discussing the mysterious Mrs. Flood, we're going to be discussing who the god or the villain of this episode is going to be, because we know that there's a god. The trailer's out now, so it's no longer a set photo leak, but the word Harbinger appears on that cinema thing. So which god is coming along in episode 2? And what did Russell mean? Because there's more from Doctor Who Unleashed. Russell said this.
Like next week, we're in Miami in 1952.
Yeah.
We've got great things coming up. We've got a very unexpected sequel coming up. Got the Interstellar Song Contest.
An unexpected sequel.
We're like children.
But first up, let's just have a look at the incredibly insightful clip granted to us by Doctor Who Unleashed.
Stand back.
Next time on Doctor Who.
Well, we know that there's a door in the next episode. I do like that they're not giving too much away, although it does feel a little bit pointless when they usually release like a clip of the episode the day before it comes out. Why don't you just put that clip in Doctor Who Unleashed? Like, it's almost pointless having that clip there. Anyway, let's first take a look at the cast list. Doctor Who Season 2, Episode 2 of 8, Lux, not to be confused with Flux, will be airing on the 19th of April 2025. It drops at 8 AM in the UK on iPlayer. It will go out live though at about 7:15 on BBC One. Everywhere else in the world, it drops on Disney Plus simultaneously. The plot synopsis reads: the Doctor's quest to get Belinda home takes the TARDIS to Miami in 1952, where an abandoned cinema is hiding a terrifying secret. Can the Doctor uncover Lux's power? So there we go. Lux. It's Lux's power. That's a bloke, that's a thing, that's an entity. Who is Lux? I reckon Lux is the god of this episode. We know, as I say, there's the Harbinger thing. Lux is probably like the god of light, perhaps. Lux is some sciencey stuff to do with light. Some science person tell me what that means in the comments. But I reckon it's either like the god of film or god of light or whatever, but this god brings Mr. Ring-a-Ding, the character played by Alan Cumming, this cartoon who comes to life. Lux, the god, brings him into existence, or perhaps Lux, as a god, wants to... He's putting his own version of Jesus into the world. He wants his human incarnation, or mortal incarnation, in our world. Thus, he goes into the form of a living cartoon, Mr. Ring-a-Ding. And I reckon Mr. Ring-a-Ding's whole thing is going to be like wanting to become human and what that means. And that reminds me of a short film which has just been released, Therefore I Am, about a robot that comes to life. You should go and check it out. I wrote and directed it, by the way. It's fun, hopefully, please. It's got a good response so far. But anyway, yeah, I reckon this god is either trying to bring himself into a mortal being, or he is just bringing this cartoon to life for some unknown reason. Anyway, the cast list for this episode includes, obviously, we've got our favourite addition, but we'll come to her in a moment. First up, we've got the Doctor, played by Ncuti Gatwa. We've got Belinda Chandra, played by Varada Sethu. We've got Reginald Pye, played by Linus Roach. Mr. Ring-a-Ding, played by Alan Cumming. The Newsreader, played by Ian Shaw. Tommy Lee. There's a load of characters here, but the ones we're going to take note of: Husband, played by Ryan Speakman. This could be analysing too far, but I reckon Husband, H, husband Arbinger. It's going to be something like that. Like last season we had Harriet with no surname, Harriet Arbinger. I think, yeah, husband, it could just be a really small role who is just someone's husband. Or I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Harbinger, that sort of thing. We've also got Sunshine Sally, who, if you've read the latest Doctor Who magazine, there's a whole comic strip of her and, I almost said Stooky Bill, Mr. Ring-a-Ding. Those are the two in the cartoon. She doesn't come to life, but Mr. Ring-a-Ding does. There's a policeman, there's loads of other random names which you can't really speculate or theorise on. They're probably just like people within the narrative. But, once again, to nobody's surprise, Anita Dobson's Mrs. Flood crops up. How is she in 1950s Miami? I wonder if she's going to be doing like an American accent. Is it a Susan Triad situation where there's different versions of her? Or is this the same Mrs. Flood we know and love, time travelling to these places? Maybe she's connected with the TARDIS or something, and she's latched on to wherever the Doctor lands, but then that's Susan Triad. I really don't know. I'm intrigued. I reckon we'll get more fourth wall breaking from her, but yeah, what's Mrs. Flood doing there? At the end of last episode, we saw this sort of cliffhanger moment of destruction. Like, there's a pyramid, there's the Eiffel Tower, there's loads of random stuff. I don't quite know where this is going, or if this is a potential timeline or the timeline we're in, but this appears to be May Day. May 24th is when all of this stuff is going down. But just after this, it's just skipped to the bottom of the page. Just after this, we got a next time trailer. So let's break this down shot by shot. So shot 1 is them arriving in Miami. Now, the thing to take note of here, we've seen it quite a lot in the trailers. It's cropped up very often. Is whatever the Doctor's got in his hand. Well, he's holding it in his arm. That long pole thing. That device seems to be something he's taking with him on every adventure of this season. Possibly it's trying to get Belinda home. Possibly it's tracking Mrs. Flood or something like that. But whatever it is, it's cropped up in the trailer in episode 3, and I'm pretty sure episode 5, and episode 4. Yeah, no, in Lucky Day as well, when they go back to 2007, they walk out the TARDIS, and the Doctor has that thing. So I reckon it's some way of tracking where they are, or trying to pull them back, or some... I don't know, let me know your theories on this mysterious object in the comments. But that's shot 1. Shot 2, there we are, Miami. That's quite a fun shot. Obviously, they actually did shoot this in Cardiff, not Miami. But the CG team's done a good job there. Looks realistic enough. Then I think these are probably missing people. I know there's episode 5 is supposed to be all about missing people, but I reckon people have gone to the cinema and then just never been seen again. They've probably been sucked into the cartoons. Maybe it's like a swap, so Mr. Ring-a-Ding comes out, someone goes in, a cartoon character leaves, a real person gets drawn into the cartoon world, which is what happens to the Doctor and Belinda. Maybe if you stay in the cartoon world too long, you become a cartoon and you die, or the Doctor will be able to do another everybody lives moment and get them all out. Something along those lines. Why does this page keep jumping? Then, yeah, we've just got some innocent victims being absorbed. This is probably, to guess, the pre-titles sequence. I reckon we'll have a little bit of the Doctor and Belinda in the TARDIS. They'll be trying to go somewhere. There'll be a distress call or something. The psychic paper will say, "We need you." You'll see all these people screaming, dying, etc. And then, boom, Mr. Ring-a-Ding leaves the screen. Title sequence begins. This guy, I think he's going to be like a semi-companion, not for the season, but for this episode, which means he's probably going to die. Or be too scared of travelling with the Doctor. I mean, they've already gone quite heavy with the theming of the Doctor's life is dangerous, stay away from him if you don't want to die. So maybe they're going to do more with that. We've then got the projector shots here. This is when Mr. Ring-a-Ding's coming to life, I imagine. That's probably the guy looking at the projector. He probably gets sucked in. Maybe he's one of the missing people. They're looking on film there, like the actual film, not as in like a film. But yeah, maybe they're seeing the victims or the people who've been missing, lost. Like there's little animated cartoons of them in the film, and that's where they've gone. Maybe this is when they die, they're just filmed, like they can't be played anymore. a broken film, burnt out film, something like that. But here we go. Mr. Ring-a-Ding, played by the wonderful Alan Cummings. Yeah, I mean, that's all we've got for this episode so far, but it's a pretty exciting looking episode. I imagine it's going to be very similar structurally to The Devil's Cord, in that it's a big guest star villain who is a god linked to the big pantheon that Russell's been banging on about. They're going to come in, do some evil stuff. Lux is looking intriguing. Now, let me know your thoughts on Lux, any theories you have in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please go and check out my review of the Robot Revolution. You can also check out the Patreon, where you get early access to some new videos. Welcome to Behind the Scenes.
Oh, I thought we were taking
No, this is behind the scenes. You can also check out the podcast, which will be coming out in either a day or two's time, where the group of us discuss our thoughts on the Robot Revolution. Should be good fun. Hope to see you there. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Don't forget to click below and subscribe to the official Confused Adipose YouTube channel.
I will destroy you!
She's not seen a single episode.
I've watched your episodes.
Keep these sonic screwdrivers.
What else am I saying about the film? Don't watch this one.